Hello, my name is Charlene Hoodie, Chair of the Air Canada Master Executive Council that represents Air Canada pilots within the Airline Pilots Association, better known as ALPA. Thank you for your interest in the Air Canada pilots. Air Canada pilots have a long and proud history in this country, having connected Canadians to the world for over 85 years. Before becoming an Air Canada pilot, I remember being away from home. And when I boarded my Air Canada flight, whether it was in Frankfurt, Tokyo, Rome, or Lima, seeing the maple leaf made me feel like I was almost home. And when I walked onto the aircraft, it felt like Canada. Now that I am an Air Canada pilot, myself and the pilots I represent are very proud to be the ones who fly you home. It's why we're so proud every time we go to work, because it is more than flying airplanes. It's about bringing families together in Canada and around the world, and bringing Canadians back home safely. Fellow Canadians, you are why we are so proud to fly the flag. As pilots of our country's only global carrier, we know we have a special responsibility in standing up for our profession in Canada. When we go to work, our goal is to get you to your destination safely, efficiently, and on time. As pilots, we're very task-oriented, and when those three goals are not achieved, we are as disappointed as you are. Unfortunately, Air Canada's on-time performance is not something to be proud of. Yet, Air Canada is one of the most profitable airlines in North America, with some of the best paid executives. But having well-compensated employees to attract the workforce needed to run a world-class airline does not seem to be a priority for Air Canada. This couldn't be more true when it comes to Air Canada's inability to attract and retain experienced pilots. This is in large part because of our outdated and unattractive working conditions. We are as disheartened as you when we see Air Canada's profits failing to translate into the level of customer satisfaction you deserve. The story could not be more different in the United States. At similar airlines like Delta and United, we're seeing customer satisfaction ratings soar, along with some of the world's best on-time performance, all after investing in their pilots with industry-leading contracts. I would also like to highlight that Air Canada, in public documents, compares itself to these same US legacy carriers, which includes aligning Air Canada's executives' compensation to their US counterparts. It's important to note, in these same public documents, Air Canada dismisses WestJet as a fair comparator because of the significant differences in size and scope of operations. However, when discussing pilot compensation, executives believe WestJet is a fair comparison. Historically, when we go back to 2003, Air Canada pilots took significant post-9/11 pay cuts to help Air Canada restructure and emerge successfully from bankruptcy. Over the last 20 years, Air Canada has rebuilt and is now reporting record profits. Meanwhile, every other legacy pilot group in North America has returned to or exceeded pre-9/11 pay. Air Canada pilots are still working under a contract that was mainly designed to save Air Canada in bankruptcy over 20 years ago. It's important to note that back then, Air Canada pilots were paid comparatively to our US counterparts. Today, Air Canada pilots are paid roughly half of our US counterparts. Canadians deserve a safe, sustainable, and reliable aviation network with experienced pilots in the flight deck. Air Canada cannot carry out future commercial plans and compete globally if they insist that their future pilots will live under North America's worst legacy pilot contract. More than 2 decades ago, becoming a pilot was a career young people aspired to. It was an incredibly attractive profession, and rightly so, because its wages and working conditions were competitive with other professions. Now being a pilot's no longer at the top of the career list, as there are numerous career options that are far more attractive. With the responsibility we carry, whether it's flying on dark, stormy nights or ensuring our aircraft is safe to depart, or when something happens in flight and we know what to do, I would expect everyone would appreciate an industry that continues to attract highly qualified and motivated Canadians. Pilots are no longer willing to be undercompensated in a trade-off for our passion of flying. It is only by chance that the industry is still attracting pilots because they happen to have a connection to or a love of flying. The discount on pilot labor in Canada must come to an end, especially if we want to see qualified and motivated Canadians entering the piloting profession. As a passenger, you deserve highly skilled and qualified pilots flying you from coast to coast across our vast country and around the globe. This was the standard, and we cannot let this standard slip. It's simply not the future Canadians should tolerate. We ask you for your support as we work towards securing a contract that Air Canada pilots deserve. Ultimately, this will provide you and your loved ones with the safety, performance, and reliability you rightfully deserve and expect from an airline that claims to be world-class. If we are successful in securing that significant investment from Air Canada in our current contract negotiations, it will help secure Canadians with a safe, sustainable, and reliable aviation network, now and into the future. I thank you for your time and your interest. Hope to see you on a flight soon. Safe travels.